Another week, another day. I've got all week in the workshop, so I'm super happy. And yeah, let's get moving on, shall we? Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Right, so I've got me plan of attack. I say plan of attack, we are winging it. Of course I'm winging it. I've got to get this top on here. I bought a carving chisel and oak is hard as hell. It's not easy to carve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trace the outline. Rather than freehand it, I want to copy Charlie's exactly. If it all gets fucked up, I can just put this whole thing through the thicknesser and get rid of this top and use the sparesy that I cleverly made as well. So we've got a sparesy top, I've got that one on.
You're so effing smart.
So for now, I need to glue this on. Let's just get it fixed on, and then I can get some routes done, because I can't shape my neck until I've got my neck pocket, and I don't know what's going on and all the rest of it. So let's get this glued on, clamped up, and we'll come back. Lots of people contacted me for commissions. If you want a commission build, by all means get in contact. Instagram's the best way. You can also get my email address below as well. Send it over, marlostudios@hotmail.com, and let me know what your plans are. Let's get some glue on, shall we? Without making too much of a mess. There we go, we're nicely clamped up. Quick double check to make sure I've glued it to the right fucking side, because I've made that mistake before. Hopefully, if Charlie Starr is watching this, I've not been too inappropriate, Charlie. Some people do complain about the swearing, but as most of the viewers around here know by now, my skin's thicker than their kids. The next morning. Just a little recap of where we are on this guitar. We've got frets in and everything in me neck. Don't get too fucking close, Paul. Everything's lovely jubbly for the truss rod. It's all going rather swimmingly. I haven't shaped the back of the neck yet. We've got no inlay to put in the top because the proper Haggis has just got some more sculptorsons in the top. So I've got to do that. I still haven't done this bit. I've got to do that. It's going to happen in this video. I apologise, in the last video I promised that I would be getting onto it, but I didn't, because I'm trying to figure out ways of getting it exact. And a friend of mine is actually printing out the picture to scale so that I can then trace the, because I want, obviously it's not going to look identical, is it? Of course it's not. But I want the scale and the positions of all the carving to look as close as I can get them. It's a bit of a fucking weird thing to be doing. There is a natural order to things though. I've got to do things correctly. I've got to get my neck pocket cut into this guitar. That's the next port of call. Get the neck pocket in, get the neck fixed on. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be notching this out and just giving it a roundy corner just to improve our access, because you've got to have improved access, haven't you? So we'll be getting our neck pocket on, we'll be getting it fixed on. Once I've done that, I can check everything's all beautifully in line, and then I can get my bridge drilled and fixed on and my ferrules going through, because it is a string through guitar, even though I didn't think it was to start with. Literally just started pissing down the minute I turned the camera on. Wank! Once I've got the bridge on, we can start looking at pickup routes. Once I've got the pickup routes done, I can do me cavity, I can do the control cavity route, which is obviously from the front. Once I've got those bits done, I can put me roundovers on the corner, and then I'm gonna start sculpting out the guitar. So by the end of this video, we will have a neck on, everything sculpted, done, cut, ready for a finishing process and a build up and a setup and a demo. Shall I learn some Blackberry Smoke music? Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, let's go through how we're going to sort out this neck pocket, shall we? So just as a guide, here's me telly template. I can lay that on, and in fact I didn't actually use this template, and it'll just give you an idea of the standard telly neck pocket depth. You can go a little bit less or more if you want. It's your guitar. At this point, we're not using telly scratch guards or anything, so you can do whatever you want here. So I'm pretty much lined up, and I'm just going to mark my depth. So we've got a mark there. Now when I put this one on, boring. Anyway, I'll just whiz through it. Cue music. right, I can procrastinate no more. I've got to move this guitar on because I'm getting messages from the next build and I need to be making some progress. I've procrastinated a bit about this one because I've never carved anything, let alone a guitar.
God help us!
The plan has changed on how I'm going to do it. I've tried scanning that in and making a CNC image and being able to carve it on the CNC machine. The truth of the matter is, all Telecaster bodies, they're all very different to each other over the years. So to get a photo of a Telecaster, which has got all the right perspective and it's not warped, and then to be able to lay that onto a CNC program and get everything to line up, especially when everything is so close to the edges, it's just not possible. And so I've binned that idea off. I've had this printed out. I've marked on the back using a light box, proper 80s tech. I've marked on the back. I'm going to lay that on the body. I'm going to scratch through and I'm going to try and leave an imprint of this pattern on the guitar, which is close enough. And then I'm not carving it by hand because I've tried that, and carving oak is not very nice. It's not a very exciting job. As much as I'd like to be whittling away and make it all look beautiful and Instagram perfect, it's not happening, not around here. So I'll be going at it with Big D Remo with his little twizzle stick. Whee! Gotta have a twizzle stick in the workshop. I've bought a very, very teeny tiny ball end. And I'll be going along and I'm going to be sketching it. I'm going to sketch it on. It could be a complete disaster. I've got no way of knowing. We'll time lapse that, shall we? We'll time lapse the whole thing. I've never done that before. I had a comment the other day. Someone said, I hate, in capital letters, when you put music on your videos. I'm constantly having to fast forward and missing all the work. Well, fucking the arrogance of some people to go, change how you're videoing all of your builds because I don't appreciate it. I say the same thing as I say to everyone. Vote with your feet and do one. That's all well and good. So anyway, I'm not changing. Don't suggest that I change. This is me. I'm a builder. I like to drop the odd F-bomb, and if you don't like it, you can lump it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scratch that through. I'm going to trace it through. First thing I need to do is get my I've got a very posh Wilkinson bridge. Woo! It's very posh. It's a lovely little bridge. It's not identical to Charlie's. Charlie's has got it's got the front screws, but all the variations I saw with that, I just didn't like the look of. That's a really neat and tidy and sexy little bridge. We know that the distance from our nut to the 12, same to your bridge, to the top E string. And in fact, I always go a couple mil more because invariably you end up, quite often with Telecaster bridges, you end up with the saddles right back doing all weird and wonderful things. If you look at old tellies, it's not very nice. Sometimes it's worth giving yourself a couple more millimeters and just push it back. There's plenty of scope on this bridge, there's plenty of adjustment, all right? It's not an acoustic. You've got room to adjust. Give yourself a couple more mil. Bridge is going to go on there. I'll mark the front of it quickly, and then I've got to route my P90. Got to route that one out, so that's fine. Got a nice template for that one. I've got to make a template for the lipstick pickup. I've got to make a template for that. That's not going to be too difficult. I'll just make it out of MDF. We'll do it by hand. We'll whiz through that. It's going to take 4 seconds, and then we'll do a quick route on there. I'm going to use my Crimson Telly template. I think it's a crimson one. To route out my control cavity because that's going to give me the correct position. So that's cheating, isn't it? That's cheating. Once I've done that, all the wiring in that's going to be quite easy because we're semi-hollow. So I don't have to worry about channels and all that guff. I'll bung a little output jack in the side. And then once I've done that, I'm going to have to start carving. And that's where we're going to get to in this video. We should be, by the end of the video, all routed out, all curved up, all carved. And then we're going to come back next week. We'll have a bit of finish in the video because I mean, how the fuck do I make it look like that? I think I'm going to finish it up with oil. I'll try a few different things. I'm not going to try and dirty this up and make it. It's going to look more like when Charlie first got it. Hopefully he'll shed a tear of nostalgia if he ever sees the video. I'm not going to go for the dirty look. The client himself can make this dirty if he wants. It's going to have a very thin oil finish, so that's easily effective if he wants to, depending on how much it's going to get played. No one really knows how to get that perfect first time. We can all pretend. That's bullshit. I'm going to try my best to make it look lovely. I will age the neck up a little bit and get that a bit grimy and dirty before we start putting our oil finish on. That's a bit simpler. Stop waffling, Paul, get some fucking work done. So bridge is going as far back. These templates are really good. They've got a cross on them, embossed in them. So you can line all that up and you can use it to make sure everything's going on nice and square. Like yay. I have still got a rotter of a cold, and I'll be trying to edit out all the associated noises that come with a cold, because sometimes when I'm editing this at home with headphones on and I can listen to me, it's not good. It's not good.
That was the grossest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So I'll try my best to keep that out your ears. Say the same thing I always say, don't screw this on temporary with the proper screws that come with it, because they're normally crap. Just use some wood screws, some small stuff, just to hold it in place. Now Charlie's guitar has got black saddles on a chrome bridge, so I've had to rob the black saddles off a different Wilkinson bridge, but it's all nicely interchangeable. Now I'm going to use the same 2.5mm drill bit, and I'm going to drill down through. Right, and the last thing I'm going to do is just mark the front of that bridge, because I need to figure out where my P90's going. I mean, I can only really guess these things, but that looks like it's about 12mm. Tippy's eye, 12mm. With a ruler that you can barely see. So I've discovered that doing videos on cheap guitars is very popular, because there's not many people that just say it as it is. Well, there are, but they're not as harsh as me, and quite a lot of people like watching a bit of harshness, a bit of reality. So I'm going to do some more of them, because it draws people in to watch the real guitar builds. If it helps the channel grow, I'll give it a go. It might be a complete waste of time, and it won't affect what I really do on the channel, and that's make one-off custom builds. I don't know what way I'm going on YouTube. It's just a fucking big social experiment, isn't it? Anyway, digression over. Let's get back onto this. You can see that the route for this one is a lot bigger than the pickup. So I'm gonna go a little bit bigger as well, just to make it look correct. I might have to black that out with shielding paint in there to make it look a bit, I don't know. We'll make that up as we go along again. So that pickup is 86mm. Let's go 100. So that's where everything's going. That's marked out. That's as technical as it gets. That is as technical as we're gonna get on this. So we're all marked out. Let's make a template for a lipstick fucking pickup, shall we? I'll speed up that bit, because you can see what I'm doing. It's not that technical. And then we'll string through, or we'll drill through, get the ferrules done. Got a new bit of kit for that. I can't get this on my pillar drill, because I've got a toy pillar drill. It's only like a little baby. So from Rutland's, I got myself one of these. Look at this dirty gobbler. Oh, you can plunge that in, can't you? It shouldn't really be as sexual as it is, but it is. So I'll be using that for the first time, plunging through, trying to get things nice and prim and proper. Load of wank really, but I do love a tool. And you love a tool, that's why you watch. Comment below, pause the fucking tool. That's very true. Right, anyway, turn the cameras off. Let's make a little cheeky template, file it, do it behind. We won't go mental. See you in a sec. I'm putting a bit of music on now, so if you're that one guy, you have to write hate in capitals, because that helps get your point across. Right, so we're drilled out, everything's looking lovely. Now I need to get my extra long drill bit. And in fact, I could do with getting a longer one, because he's not very long, is he? Mrs. Richards will be the first to tell you that there is room for improvement. Quite a lot of fucking room, actually. Right, I'm going to go conventional. I'm going to drill right through my neck pocket into the P90 space, and then I'm going to go from there into there. And we're in. Woo! So the subscriber count, for whatever reason, is going up way more rapidly than I could have ever dreamed of. So I'm thinking the next giveaway is going to be 25,000 subs. We're already at 13 when I'm filming this. Fuck knows what it's going to be by the time I finish this. But between 25 and 30,000. And I'm going to be using shit from in the workshop, but it's going to be very nice. So this is a Spalted Beach PRS body that I actually made in my first workshop many moons ago. It's hollow. Spalted Beach from the Mount Edgecombe estate. Beautiful place. We go there all the time. And I happened to meet the person that fells the trees there. And I managed to get some of this Spalted Beach from a very cool place. So this is all local wood. Very awesome. And also I've got this solid walnut neck. So it's going to be a one-piece walnut neck with some, I'm going to do some cool ivy inlays on it. The typical skunk stripe. That is going to be a PRS copy, double humbucker, full wallop, beautiful guitar, and I'm going to build that to give away to a subscriber. Can't say more than that, can I? Can't say more than that. It's going to be very nice. Right, so just a little quickie, back on the salads for January, and that's how it's going to stay. If you're interested, it looked like this. Oh, Mrs. Richards' homemade chicken thighs. Motherfuckers. Right, telly is telly shaped. Everything's routed, everything's looking lovely. We're all semi-hollow gorgeousness, routes, cables. Needs a good sand, needs a bit of love. As the day goes on, I'm sounding more and more like I've got a face full of snot. And I have, it's minging. I've got to move on with this. I'm gonna do it in time lapse. I'm gonna film it all with little Dave. I'm gonna turn off Big Kahuna and we're gonna see how it turns out. You can see that this is bigger than this, so I'm gonna have to manipulate this around and just get a rough feel for things and then adjust it. Very, very difficult little process. Unusual to say the least, but me and Big D Remo are gonna smash into it. I'll see you on the other side. Cue music. So there we have it. That is the end of that video. I blasted through the carving, and if I'm honest, I did it twice. I left enough room on that cap to sand it off and have another crack because it's bloody hard. If you want to know what products I use, we're starting to look like the real thing. There's a lot more grain in my oak, a lot more grain, which I actually prefer. So I've actually used Osmo Top Oil High Solid, which is a dark one. It says transparent, that's bullshit. And that's gone into the carving, it's given us a bit of character, and it's also got into the grain, which is nice. It's brought it all out, it's given it some bores. I have it on the back. Everything else is going to be true oil. This is going to have lots of coats of true oil. Well, actually, this is probably going to have about 3 or 4. I don't want sheen on it, because Charlie's isn't sheeny. So we're not going to go sheen, but I do want to bring out the colour. One coat shows off all the scratches and love that I need to give it. So this does need another good sanding. It's only had one. That was a good episode. I enjoyed that. Hopefully I included enough of what you wanted to see and then maybe some more of bits that you didn't. I don't know. Who knows? It's all a learning curve. I've only been doing this a year with the cameras and the bullshit. And I'm getting somewhere now, so brilliant. I'm starting to enjoy YouTube a little bit too much. Thanks for everyone who comments and watches. I will see you, stop pointing, Paul, that's weird. I'll see you all next week. Unless you come on a Monday and watch my cheap guitar review videos. They're a little bit harsher. Love you, bye.